I wanted to make a video on this ever since she uploaded her video, but I never actually got the chance to do it. And today I was just checking out some random videos on YouTube, and that video came up, so I thought, why not?
I've been pretty viciously attacked for vocalizing some of my views that lean right. I'm used to this, though. I get a lot of hate for being on YouTube for my beliefs, or particularly for my lack of beliefs. But I've never received the kind of backlash that I have from simply vocalizing some of my opinions that are more conservative. On the other hand, I've had several conversations with people on the right, and they're open and willing to talking to me even though I'm a crazy liberal. I wasn't labeled as a bigot or a phobe of any kind or fascist, and I think people who use that word don't even really know what it means.
The reason why people from the right are being nice to you is because your views are leaning a bit to the right. They want to welcome you to their side. It makes sense. Like, if someone from the right was leaning a bit to the left, I'm sure there'd be some people from the left who would be like, oh, we're really nice people. We're gonna have an intellectual conversation with you. Just come and, just let's just have a discussion. That's how it goes. A couple of months ago, I wanted to research a little bit on Christianity, and when my Christian friends came to know about it, they were extremely happy. They wanted to hang out with me and watch movies with me and talk about religion with me. But after a while, I got bored of it. So I told my friends that I didn't want to talk about it anymore, and they just stopped talking to me. If I would message them, they'd reply with short answers, but that was it.
Fascist. So it seems to me that disagreements with liberal ideas or voicing views that lean more right get such a negative reaction that tends to just shut down a conversation entirely.
The other thing about this video is that you're comparing really, really stupid people from the left on YouTube to people who, well, I wouldn't call Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro smart either. They piss me off a lot, but not because they have different opinions than me, but because they're extremely hypocritical when it comes to certain situations. And I'll make a video on that later on, but anyway, you're still comparing Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro to people on YouTube from the left like Riley and this other non-binary person. I forgot her name. Or some of your friends, I guess, who were left-leaning and then they stopped talking to you because they found out that you watch people who are from the right. But that's the thing. You're using a lot of anecdotal experiences to make up this claim that people from the right are more willing to listen to you than people from the left. I'm sure there are lots of people from the left on YouTube as well who would be more than willing to have a conversation with you. In fact, I was going through your Twitter where you made this post, and I found that David Pakman actually tweeted and asked you nicely if he could interview you, and you never got back to him. While at the same time you go on the internet and say, oh well, people from the left don't actually want to have a conversation with me. When David Pakman, he's the nicest person I know on YouTube. He literally reached out to you and asked you if you wanted to have an interview with him, and you never got back to him.
I think I've grown as a person since then, but I have done that before where I have reacted and lashed out at somebody because they said something that I found to be as offensive, so I put a label on them. And at the time I wasn't doing it to be argumentative. I really did feel that way. It was so easy for me to just demonize the other side, and as a result, I could put a label on them without feeling bad, and I actually felt virtuous doing so. This behavior is so toxic, and in my opinion, it's how we got President Trump.
All these conservative YouTubers that you talk about are just as much edgy and aggressive as you were towards conservative YouTubers back in the days. In fact, they're probably edgier and more aggressive towards liberals than you were ever.
But like I said, regardless of my liberal leanings, I have found the right to be open to talking with me. The best example of this is Hunter Avallone. We've had some gnarly disagreements in the past, and we've both changed a lot since then. But we do disagree on a lot of things, but we still were able to sit down and have a long conversation. It's all online. I'll leave a link in the description. And we talked about politics. And guess what? It was nothing but civil and respectful. I've also had disagreements with people labeled as social justice warriors in the past before too. An example of this being Riley Dennis. I tried to open a conversation with her about the genuine hope for understanding each other better and was completely shut down.
Now, I know that you took offense when certain people tweeted you on Twitter publicly asking you to debate them instead of sending you an email about it. But you did the same thing with Riley. I mean, that's so hypocritical of you.
Social and political conversations cannot progress if people behave this way. Even now, I would say that I'm still left-leaning, more moderate in my views, sure, but still left-leaning, and I have been shown more openness, kindness, and respect from the right. If you're a liberal, please consider this. On the scale, say I'm here. Why is it that I get more hate from people closer to me politically? Someone over here seems to be a lot more willing to talk to me, even though I'm ideologically closer to you.
It's really hard to watch this video because she's constantly using anecdotes. Listen, it sucks when you lose friends over politics. I don't agree with that. I mean, if someone from the left leaves their friend who leans towards the right just because they don't have the same political views, then I disagree with that. I agree with you over there. I don't believe that politics should define your friendship with certain people. But the thing is, not everyone from the left is that way. You're comparing really stupid people from the left with somewhat good people from the right. That's not how it works.
And yes, people on the left say crazy and absurd things too. And one of my biggest problems with the left is that they don't call that shit out. If it's on our team, we're not going to say anything about it. If you're on the left and you know someone, even someone you look up to and respect, if they say something that absurd, call them out on it. But rarely do you see that. Instead, you get one of three reactions. Defend the statement, put the blame back on the other side by bringing up something awful that they do, or say something along the lines of, not all liberals think that way. Okay, then call it out. Don't get defensive. Just say something, use words. Make it clear that you do not agree. But the other side, shh. I took a step back and I removed the demonization that I had previously placed on conservatives, and I feel like I am so much better for it. I will still continue posting content similar to what I have before. For a long time, I have been critical of social justice warriors on the left, and for a long time, I have been critical of conservative views that I don't align with, and radicals that hold those views to the extremes.
I've watched some of your videos, and it seems to me the problem you have with the left is with feminism and the whole gender thing. Now, I want to comment on it real quick. As far as the gender thing goes, you already know that gender isn't same as sex. Gender is literally a spectrum from male to female. Yeah, I do think that it's silly that certain people want to name where they lie on the spectrum, but it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't see why it's something that needs to be discussed about so much. Like, why does it matter? I don't get it. Why is it such a big deal? Gender is a social construct, while sex is something that's related to biology. And yeah, there are only two sexes. If someone says that there are more than two sexes, then yeah, I think that's really stupid. But if someone says that there are more than two genders, I don't think it's something to get so worked up on. As for feminism, I do agree with you that there are some really crazy feminists out there who actually do want to change the law and give more rights to women than men. I agree with that. But the thing is, there are more feminists out there who believe in equality, who believe that men and women should be treated equally in the eye of the law.
I think the problem is that you don't really know that many intellectual leftists on YouTube who I really do think that you can agree with or you can have a dialogue with, because they're extremely calm and professional.
And although I do criticize extremes on both sides, I just want you to know moving forward that I do feel like I am more moderate now than I have ever been. And when I address these particular issues with both sides, I am not at all blanketing the entire side to be that stereotype. Like I said before, if you agree with someone or you align with someone, it's even more important that you call out the problems on your own side. Otherwise, it seems like you're endorsing it.
To say people from the left don't call out people from their own group is really stupid, because there are so many videos on the internet. Just YouTube it. Instead of focusing on Riley or some really stupid left on the internet, check out someone who's smart from the left. Just constantly speak out against modern feminism and BuzzFeed.
I'm going to be critical of the right, I'm going to be critical of the left. Not a whole lot's going to change, but now you know where I really stand. I'm sure that this video is going to piss off a lot of people, but I hope that it encourages people to be more willing to talk in a kind way.
People from the right get just as much triggered as people from the left. You see it all the time. The word lip cuck has become so famous, it has to actually turn into a meme now. The only reason why you're not experiencing that much hate and bigotry from the people from the right is because you're leaning towards their views. It makes sense as to why they would welcome you with open arms.
Anyway, I didn't make this video to hurt JaclynGlenn or disrespect her. I only made this video because I watched some of her videos and I really wanted to say something about them. Anyway, thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like it, and I'll be making some more videos probably on Steven Crowder, and yeah, thank you for watching.